Beautiful Taurus, welcome back. In your young, early baby self, your childhood years, death was the challenge that you had to work through in those childhood years to make sense of your purpose as it relates to breaking cycles off of your life. When it comes to the teen years or young adult years, it had to do with being able to build, to create in the world. There's divine masculine out here. And then for what it is that you're working through right now, opportunities to continue to break cycles off of your life, create legacy, go in a different direction from maybe your ancestors, going into something healthy and positive for yourself, whatever that is, Taurus. We have something related to home, foundation, and structure. So Taurus, when I was meditating on this energy early on, death being out here for the childhood years, that is a hard energy to go through in childhood, because when we think about the child brain scientifically, there are literally critical windows, ages, where the brain does not understand and cannot make sense of what death is, and that death is something that is permanent. That's a really hard thing for children. So we're going to explore more about what that was with you. I'm going to get some tarot cards out here. Now, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping though. This message will not resonate with everyone. It's not intended to. When Spirit gave me the idea to do this series of readings for the public, for social media, I wasn't clear about the why or who needed this message. But anytime these kind of readings come into the mind and the heart to do, it's for someone, right? And so the whole intention about this is to give messages to those who need it at a given time. Now, I've done readings like this for people who are in my close relationship, people that I know personally, because we can be in the same presence with each other. So here we are doing this for people who are in the world. And so, Taurus, I did a whole lot of talking just now to tell you I want you to take care of yourself as you're watching this reading, because this feels like a heavy reading, Taurus, and I want you to, as you're thinking about things from the past, as you're thinking about things that you went through in your young adult years and what you're facing now, it could bring up a lot of different emotions. So take care of yourself, get you a nice cup of water, tea, coffee, relax your spirit in the way that you know how to, going into this reading, if you're still on with me, working through these energies, okay? So death is out here early on. I'm going to get some tarot cards out here to help make sense of what this challenge was that you went through to help shape you into who you are now, breaking cycles in your life, whatever that is. But as I was saying earlier, children, they don't understand that death is permanent. And when children are faced with people in the family transitioning, a mother, a father, and I'm sensing that for some of you specifically, Spirit is wanting me to name father, that for some of you who have lost a father early on in the childhood, Taurus, that is a heavy thing. Anyone, losing anyone, but it's something about that father energy, because in your young adult years, divine masculine is out here. It feels like as you were getting through your life, you felt like you really needed that fatherly, masculine kind of emperor energy in your life so that you can become clear about who you were in your home dynamic, which you are in that phase of your life right now, building your own structure. It had something to do with structure. But God, angel, spirit guides, let's let spirit tell us what this is. Why is death out here for Taurus related to breaking cycles off of their life in their childhood years, early childhood years? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Why is death here? Let's see. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Why is death here? Okay, yeah, some transition. This is what flipped over in the deck. I'm going to throw this out. Some type of transition, someone crossing into the spiritual realm changed the home dynamic. It kind of feels like the home dynamic kind of fell apart spiritually, emotionally, without that patriarchal energy being there. We'll see more about if this is more matriarch or patriarchal. It feels patriarchal right now. But for some of you, you literally had to change homes for some of you. God, angel, spirit guides. What else is this related to? Death being out here. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Yeah, and the way that these kind of flipped over at the end kind of feels like a lot of trailer cards. Someone had to carry on. Now, for some of you, there was a parent who left the home, okay? Because we have the Two of Cups out here. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides, for clarifying. And it changed that feeling of there being a happy home. Maybe the neighbors in the community, you had to change schools. Yeah, this is related to the father. So there was a paternal energy that transitioned possibly, but for some of you, the main thing that's coming through is that there was some type of separation with the family, okay? And so this death energy created a lot of change, and it felt like the father was absent in whatever way. A divorce, a separation that resulted in you, Taurus, not feeling like you had that other half of you available and around. Now, when that happens to us as children, it definitely shapes how we see lovers in the future, what we think we can have, what we think we are worthy of having too. For those of you that I'm speaking to where there was a separation, there was a divorce that resulted in the family falling apart, the parents trying to do a co-parenting thing, that can be devastating in terms of believing that you could have a solid relationship where there is commitment, security in the future. Okay, that's a challenge. And I know that I'm speaking to all kinds of different people out there, all different gender identification, but I'm getting this strong vibe that I'm speaking to someone who is a gentleman, who identifies as male, where this message is specifically for you. Now, take what resonates for all of you. I'm not trying to cancel anyone out of this energy, but I just keep feeling that really strong. And I never name the gender, but I want to be obedient to what I'm hearing. And it feels like there is someone who identify as male who is really needing to hear this right now related to the father. There's a father wound that this generational cycle is being connected to, and I'm feeling it all through my body, right? So you probably know where the rest of this reading is going, because now we're looking at the divine masculine energy that you were working through in your young adult years, your teen years. And so Taurus, whoever I'm speaking to, without that masculine energy being there, it had an impact on how you navigated your friendships. It had an impact on how you started getting into your first dating situations early on. Maybe premature endings in relationships because of fear. I feel like there is a fear energy here in this time of life, but we're going to let God, angel, spirit guides clarify this for us. So for Taurus, God, angel, spirit guides, for this divine masculine energy in the young adult years, what was it that Taurus was facing? What is this about as it relates to breaking cycles? What hard lesson were they learning? What were they being faced with? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Let's see here. Okay, so this one kind of popped out and flipped over in the deck. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop it out there. What else? Heavy burden. It kind of feels like you were being leaned on to be the person in the household, to be the breadwinner. Okay, yep. It kind of felt like you had to be dad. Okay, whoever this is I'm speaking to, right? Now, another thing that just came through for some of you, that's just the problem, is that some of you don't even identify as male, but for this other caregiver, you still had to show up as the parent of the opposite sex. Whatever parent left or, made their transition, you had to show up in that. And so because of that, it still was expressed in a very masculine energy, because you had to be more than what maybe psychologically you were developmentally ready to do, but you had to almost show up as a provider, right? A caregiver. And it was really hard on you. Now, this feels like that energy, Taurus. And Taurus, this is the energy that you embody a lot just in your life, because you have so much grit and power, and you know how to grow money. Taurus people, Virgo people, Capricorn people know how to grow money, but Taurus is really good about trusting self. People say strong-willed, but it is a superpower. And so it kind of feels like whatever was happening in this family dynamic, you were 11 years old, 12 years old, already going and mowing lawns. You were finding little side hustles around the way to help support your family. Someone was here being a big sister, being a big brother to the other siblings here, you know, carrying a lot of the load. For some of you, you had a parent that after this divorce, the parent changed. The parent that was the caregiver, that parent changed, and you had to almost become the parent because maybe there was a psychological change, maybe there was some type of abuse, maybe substance abuse, maybe they just kind of went into some other suspended reality. And so here you are being young, knowing how to earn money, working way harder than what a teen should be able to should be doing. That's what this feels like. So you're showing up here, learning how to earn for yourself very early on. But this is a very stressful, painful time, right? And maybe it felt to other people that you were just fine. People probably were like, yo, look at you, I'm proud of you, you're standing up, you are strong, you are the great big sister, great big brother, or you're out here getting it. If you're the only child, people admired how you took up that role of being another support in your household. But what was really happening with you, Taurus, is that this was hard. This was not normal. It wasn't easy to do. You missed out on opportunities. You probably weren't able to go to the football games. You probably weren't able to play football, volleyball, gymnastics, the normal things that middle school, high school kids were doing. You weren't able to do that because here you are. And I'm feeling a lot of this passion. I feel like I'm speaking this out for you. This is a very energetic reading where I feel like I'm speaking this out to the universe, like something that maybe you could not even express, because there's a resting of words here too. But you are still working hard, but there's a resting of words. And so I feel like I'm almost speaking out to the people around. I'm getting chills to the people around what you could not say. That I'm tired, I'm 17, I'm doing too much, I'm 25, and I'm already feeling like I'm 55 years old in the work that I've had to do. Taurus, I just want to pause for a moment, come out of this energy and tell you that I respect you. And for whatever you're working through right now, we're going to come over to the home energy that you're in right now, breaking cycles. It should never be that a young person is in that role to show up as parent, to show up as other provider, because that it almost feels like you're being punished for existing when that happens. Our systems, you know, I'm not going to get all weird and political. I don't mean to do that. But the way that our society is set up and our societies are set up, it has not created avenues for young people to not have to become parentified and adultified when tragic happens to parents or to a parent. So I want to let you know that I feel you, I see you, and I hope that you remember, Taurus, that in this life is meant to be a joyful experience. You know, it's not supposed to be all serious and fight and no play, right? And so in your journey, in your life, I hope that you are able to build something where you can actually sit on top of that mountain that you've created and enjoy yourself, smell the air, and feel your essence, because that is what you're here to do. It feels like it's been a life of a lot of building, a lot of hard work, a lot of grit. It feels like you've been pushing along for sure. Another thing before I go into this home energy for Taurus in terms of breaking those cycles off of your life, for some of you, when this tragedy happened in the home dynamic and there was a separation of the family, for someone that I'm speaking to, you ended up going into foster care services, or you got an adoptive parent, and it was supposed to be milder, it was supposed to be lighter for you, but you went into this experience and you actually ended up having to work really hard. Like, it doesn't feel like this adoptive family or this adopted care system that was supposed to help relieve you and give you support so that you could just do the normal young kid thing. It doesn't feel like that happened. You went into a placement where they weren't treating you like a child. You were needing to show up, probably being babysitter. You were needing to show up and get a job. You're treated kind of roughly very early on. That's what's coming up as well. So now, Taurus, we're going to go into this home energy for you. The home energy. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What is it that Taurus is facing right now in terms of breaking cycles off of their life? What is the opportunity? So right now, Taurus, I'm looking at the opportunity for you to come out of any cycle that you want to come out of, to switch things around, to have your freedom. Now, I don't know if that's what you're looking for, or it's not like you're like, no, Shaan, that's not the question I have. I don't know. But just based off of what's coming through in this reading, in your structure and in your home environment now, the hope, what I'm sensing is that your hope is that your own children do not have to feel what it was that you were feeling. That's kind of like the system that you want to break off of your life, and to have a happy partnership or commitment security. Could be marriage, whatever it is, but you're wanting to be successful. That's what this feels like, Taurus. So guide angel, spirit guides, tell us more about home. What is this about? Why is home here? What is the opportunity here to break a cycle off of their life? What are they facing? One more shuffle and then we will roll. Let's see. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. For Taurus, please. Okay. So for some of you, you are in a relationship or in a marriage, and you got all pentacles out here. So this is about the home, obviously, right? This is all about home, structure, foundation, money, resources, health. And you're putting in a lot of work. You've been putting in a lot of work. What you know how to do well, Taurus, that I'm speaking to, is you know how to work hard. You've been working hard since you were a preteen, is what it feels like. And trying to find security for yourself. It kind of feels like some of you, Taurus, you're becoming burnt out in where you are right now, and kind of in a place where you're feeling a little bit doubtful right now. Okay, so I also have this 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So what you're facing right now is you're wondering if this home that you've built, this commitment, some of you are married or you're about to get married, and it's tough right now. You know, you're going through a rough time, and you're wondering, is it worth it? Is this going to go anywhere? Is this going to actually turn out to be a wonderful investment? This marriage, you might have been married for 7 years. You might have been married for between 5 to 7 years, or have been with this person or building this foundation for that amount of time. Not limited to that, but I'm looking at the number of pentacles here, and so I'm seeing, I'm sensing and feeling that vibe. So this is a number of years that you've been committed to this process, but it's been hard. Arguing, this is in the family. Arguing in the family, maybe there has been frequent breakups in the marriage, and again, you're working hard, doing your part, trying to hold it down, love on your partner, but it just sometimes doesn't feel like it's actually making the relationship grow and have what it takes for it to last. That's what this feels like. And so you're asking, is this worth it? There has been some loss. There may have even been a situation where you or the person that you're dealing with, lost their job. You know, if you're in the United States, we've been going through a lot politically where a lot of people have been losing their jobs, being laid off. So there has been some type of loss here, and you're just really at a time in your life right now, Taurus, in your family, where you're looking over your life like, is this what happened? Is this the point where someone says, I don't want to be mom anymore, I don't want to be father anymore, and then things start to break apart because it just kind of feels like you and your family, you're being incredibly challenged right now. You're kind of out in the wilderness, you're in the snow, there's help here, but it kind of feels like you've helped people in the past. You looking at them, they act like they don't know you. You don't see me through these windows. Like, that's what that feels like right now. That's what I'm picking up. And so it's making it really hard to be able to believe that this is an investment that can work out. But this card is still out here. This is commitment. This is commitment that works out. And if you have this card out here with the 5 of Pentacles as well, this kind of feels like this time is going to pass. This is just a season. This is only a season that you're in right now. As a matter of fact, all of these cards are minor energy. And so it's a tough season right now. But you have to decide for you who you want to be in your life, what you want to represent in your family dynamic. Now, I'm going to do something that I haven't been doing for a lot of the signs. I'm going to get any advice out here that Spirit wants you to have, and then we will move into a close, okay? Thank you, Guide Angel, Spirit Guides. For Taurus, please, as they're in this situation with their family, with the home, wanting the structure and security, wanting to make sure that their investment in family, their investment financially too, is worth it. There's a time of doubt, God, angel, spirit guides. So what advice do you have for Taurus who's watching this right now? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What advice do you have for Taurus who's watching this right now? Let's see. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Okay. 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 For some of you, there is something here that has been really hard on you. It could be your partner. It could be the influence of a mother-in-law or a parent-in-law having a whole lot of power in the relationship. The Three of Cups is in reverse. There's no joy here. It could be friends of your significant partner, but it's been creating a lot of burden. It's a lot of burden. What's making this home situation, security situation, this family dynamic challenging right now is it feels like there's some energy around this relationship. They have powerful voices. They have a lot of stake in your home, or maybe in your business. I'm just going to keep it real, Taurus, and that's making it feel like an incredibly burdensome time. It's just a very stressful time. The weight of managing everyone's expectations of you and of this family. And so there's something in here, and Guide Angel Spirit Guides, I ask that you make it very clear to Taurus what this is, open up that intuition. There's something here that you need to be considering walking away from and leaving behind. Now, the match of the Pisces energy right here is the Three of Cups here. The Cups is the celebration. It's the sisters, it's the brothers, it's the family. It's family, right? It's the close friends. And so if I'm just matching, the element here, both of these have cups. And so it's likely that there's a need to walk away from the things that do not bring you joy. So if there are people around you that are not creating a sense of joy for you, then that might be the thing. And that's going to be one of the wands that get to be put down. That's going to help remove some weight. It's scary, Taurus. I feel like this is a fearful thing, but there's something more that can fulfill you. This person is walking to find that ninth cup because they spent all of their life walking to get to these cups, walked up on these cups and was like, where that cup at? Okay, I gotta go find this other cup. And they walked off only with the trust of the moon. They can't see, it's dark. They only have the moon out here. So it kind of feels like this person believes that they can have fulfillment. They believe that they can have abundance and they're going after it. That is what it means to break cycles off of your life. I'm going to close, I promise, in just a moment, Taurus. When it comes to breaking a cycle off of your life, our lives, we are walking in the path that no one else around us had the power to do. Okay? We're really doing the thing that our ancestors, our grandparents, our caregivers just didn't have the power to do, didn't have the resources to do. It was a decade where it was probably illegal to do it. Time has changed so much, but every generation has a new opportunity to expand the legacy and the potential. And so if there's something that you have to walk toward so that you can expand your legacy and have your potential and have your dream, right? This is what Spirit wants you to pay attention to, okay? Because there's something around you creating a lot of pain, a lot of burden, okay, in the home dynamic, in the family dynamic. Taurus, I love you. That is what I have for you. I didn't mean to make that this lengthy, but if you're still on with me, hopefully my hope is that you gain something from it. And I hope that I get to see you next week. Take care, Taurus. Bye.